Hello, everyone. Thank you to those that have joined. Sorry, we are about 8 minutes away. Yes. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, guys. Just some technical stuff going on here. So yes, glad to see you guys. Glad to see you guys. Glad to see you guys. Please, those that want to participate, please can you indicate and let me know that you've joined, and so I can see you. Yeah. Thanks, Michael, for joining. Thanks to everyone that have joined. Sorry if I missed your name. Yeah. Thanks to those that are joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome. Just trying to sort some things out before we can start. 1 minute, guys. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Dixon. Thanks for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. So, like I mentioned, we hope to have as many people come on the live, and so that we can all participate together and learn from each other. So, I'll make it interactive, I'll make it a conversation. So feel free to join us on Facebook. Feel free to join us on Instagram. Sorry guys, on TikTok. Feel free to join us on YouTube, please, wherever you can. I get to Makoyo. Thanks, African Tales. Thanks, Makoyo, for joining. Thank you, Cheesy Love. Thank you, GWM Bot. Thank you, Olumide Iguna. Please let us know where you guys are joining from. Please put in the comment section where you're joining from so we know where you're joining from. Also, please share this live stream so others can be blessed by it. Please share this live stream. Remember, for those that want to participate, I did send you, Kenny, thanks for joining. I did send you a video of how you can, thank you, Dixon, thanks for that response. I did send you guys a way. If you guys are struggling on how to participate on the live for TikTok, you look on the bottom. I believe there's a place where it says you should see. If you watch the video I sent to you, you see how you can join. Then for Facebook, I believe that just look on the bottom of the screen. You can see how to be added as a guest. I don't know how that works on YouTube, but yeah, there should be a way you can be joined in as a guest. So just going to crack on, and as many people, I'm waiting for as soon as you come in, if you want to participate or if you had indicated initially that you would like to participate, please send us a message. Join through the invite. If you send me a message and I can add you on the live. Remember, guys. So I'll be trying to coordinate with doing technical stuff at the same time coordinating this live. So remember, if you had sent me a message, if we had a conversation that you're going to participate on the live, please send me a message, okay? Yeah, please, okay? Yeah, so basically today we're going to be having a conversation about are my children safe with a phone? Is my child safe with a phone? So like I said, we're live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, simulcast. And this is targeted at parents, it's targeted at people, educators, youth workers, church communities, general public. So our hope is that if you guys join on the live, it's going to make it interactive. As many that can join, make it interactive, and we can learn from each other. So like I said initially, please follow this page, like, or if you appreciate what is being said, please, you can tap on the screen and show that it helps the algorithm for more people to know about it. Share this live stream as well as comment, and yeah, so let's crack on. So introduction, by way of introduction. So I welcome everyone once more. We're going to dive into this topic, like I mentioned. Are my children safe with phones? So with so many young people using phones daily, thank you to everyone that's joined. I'm just going to crack on. It's challenging for me to. I appreciate everyone that's joined in. I can see Buki Ojobo. Thanks there for joining. Femi, Uncle Femi, thanks for joining. Yeah, with so many young people using phones daily, it's vital that we understand both the benefits, if there is, and the risk. So why phone safety matters. Children and teens spend hours on this. They spend hours on these devices. So it matters, you know. 1 minute, guys. Let me just. Someone is finding difficulty to join. Sorry, let me just send to someone a link. Sorry, guys. Sorry. How do I? Sorry about that. So yeah, children and teenagers spend hours online, chatting, gaming, streaming, and learning. They learn, to be honest. While phones connect us, they also expose young children to dangers like one, cyberbullying. I'm sure you guys know. Thank you, Victoria. Online predators. Yep. As well as screen addiction and privacy risk. This is some of the things that we face, you know. Yep. So as parents, guardians, and even parents, we must learn how to guide and protect and empower young people to use these phones responsibly. So one of the things that I do want to share quickly before we go, you know, I remember working in I remember I worked in a school. Thanks, Buki, for joining. Oluwa Bukola Ojobo. Thanks, Dixon, for joining. Thanks, Eva. Thanks, Victoria. And as many people that I might have missed. I'm sorry if I missed your name. Since I remember when I used to work I used to do a transport logistic business. Oche Noel Schools. Thanks for joining. I remember that I was trying to do a delivery and I saw this boy. He had his phone in his hand. He was on his phone. Betty Angela, thanks for joining. And as he was chatting on his phone, then he got to the gate of the school. Instead of put his phone down, walk into the school, he used his back, turned his back, used his back, pushed the gate of the school, and continued on his phone and went away. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. If you are driving to school in the UK, and I'm sure this is across the world, on a work day, and children are going to school, you see that they're on the phones like this, like that. You know, sorry guys, I'm sure you see children walking to school on their phones, walking back to school on their phones. So the addiction, I don't know how they do it. I remember those days when I was in school. If I forgot to study or to refresh myself on what the teacher had taught, thank you, Philippa, what teacher had taught, what I'll do is that whilst my driver is taking us to school, that's the moment when I'll be flipping through what was the last thing that we discussed. Let me check. What did we discuss last? So that because the teacher always starts with a refresher. What was discussed last? That's the first thing they'll start with. What did I teach yesterday? What was our last topic? Who remembers this? Who remembers that? And if you don't answer a question, I don't know how this one do it. If you answer a question, you either made the mockery of, or other children will laugh at you, or those that answer the question will be seen as they are more serious in what they're doing. So, but I wonder how this generation does it. That I wonder how they do it. That they go to school with their phone. They come back to school with their phone. I wonder how they're able to retain. So I just thought I'd chip this in, something that we can relate to. I don't know how many of you have seen a video on Instagram of a child that was hammering. Thanks for for hammering the back of her dad's pickup van. You know, like using a what's it called? Will I call it was an axe, also not an axe, but a pick also with sharp, and was banging it. And the reason was because the parents seized her phone, you know. And I'm sure you guys might have also seen a video that went viral of a baby, I think a baby sitting on the floor, and they took the phone from the baby, and the baby was crying, screaming. Merely the parents handed the phone back to the baby. Just stop crying. you know. So I just thought I'd bring some pictures to us for us to begin to be on the same page as regards to the impact this phone had and the extent that the damage of the phone has had. It has its advantage. I won't lie to you. It makes kids smart here and there and all that. We'll discuss that. And I'm sure that as many of you that join the live will be able to discuss more and more with it, you know. So yes. So but one sad story that I don't want to share, but I can't help but sharing. I'm sure I don't know how many of you that know the story of a gentleman in a young boy in London that was going to school and had AirPods on, and I'm sure he was listening to music on his phone. And unfortunately, I think there was a guy chopping people off with or hurting people with their swords, and he happened to unfortunately had caught this boy because people were calling his attention, and he wasn't paying attention because he had AirPods on. So these are just some of the scenarios that I'm sure you guys know. There are a lot you can relate with, but I just thought I'd share this so that people can relate to them. So I'm going to read some of these things quickly as before we start having conversations. So it will help us just kind of form a background, form like a background or like an introduction before we can go into conversation proper. 1 minute. So there's a group that I follow on Instagram. They are called Smartphone Free Childhood. Smartphone Free Childhood. If you want to look them up, Smartphone Free Childhood. They would have, if you go on their profile photo is like a power sign, but green. So I took this from their page and I would read some of it before we start having a conversation. Smartphones are these are some of the arguments that parents would have with you, you know. So so they kind of collated some of it. Smartphones are just part of growing up in the world, in the modern world. That's what a lot of parents will say, you know. So one of the things parents will say is just the way, guys. If you joined in, please mute your mic, please. Mute your mic, please. If you joined in, mute your mic, please. Parents will say these are some of the excuses that parents always give. And guys, I come as a parent and I come as a youth worker. For someone I've worked with young people, teenagers, at least 15 years now, to the much I can remember. And I know that maybe I'm not sounding like I know it all. We have our challenges as parents, train up our own children, but also I've been exposed to working with so many teenagers. So at least we're here to learn, and some of the things I'm saying are based on some of the experiences I've experienced. So not to sound like it's all working in my family, you know, we're a work in progress, but I'm also here to share, or I'm a bit concerned because of the teenagers I work with and because of the things I see in the environment, because of conversations we've had as parents. So these are some of the things that parents would say, and these are some of the responses that you might want to give. It's just the way things are. These are responses to what parents would give for giving their phones to children or doing what they to continue to do what they're doing already. It's just the way things are for kids now. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. That's what parents would say. Remember, guys, once upon a time people would smoke on a plane. I'm sure it's strange now.
You kept repeating it. You kept saying
it. Uncle Femi, please can you mute your mic for now? Okay. What does it say about? Thank you. Let me add you. I can see. Wait, sorry guys, 1 minute. I just want to add someone on the mic on the call. How do I add you? Okay. Guys, I'm not so tech guy. I'm trying to add someone. How do I add this lady? Ngozi, if you can hear me, please send me a request. Please send me a request because I can't seem to. Please, guys, if we had a conversation about joining this live, please send me a request so that I can add you. I think it's a lot easier for me that way. Okay. So remember, guys, I don't know how many of you that know that once upon a time people would smoke on planes, but that's not anymore. Once upon a time, there was no seat belts, or now we have seat belts. So the fact that people have all excuses they can give for why they do what they're doing, That doesn't mean that it cannot be changed. So that's it. Shouldn't this just be up to the parents? So in a case that people would say that, thanks guys, people would say that shouldn't the choice of phone use be up to the parent? To be honest, it shouldn't be, because if you as a parent decide to give your child a phone, and me as a parent in my child's school, I decide not to give my child a phone, your own child having a phone would begin to influence my own child's decision on wanting to have what your child has. I don't know if you guys understand me. So it's not a parent thing. It should not be a case by case parenting. But thousands of parents want to hold off. Some people don't want their children to have phones, but because of the pressure that some other parents have given to the children, that of those that don't have, now start putting pressure on those that have. I know a friend of mine that called me and said my son is about to go into secondary school and is under pressure to me that he needs a phone. He needs a phone, largely because he has seen other people with the phone. Okay, so it's important that we bear that in mind. That your decision to give your child a phone begins to have an influence on someone else that chose not to give their own child a phone. So my child needs to be tech literate or they will fall behind. These are some of the things that people have shared. Oh, my child needs to be tech literate. But guys, there are so many other ways your child can be tech literate. They can get digital skills from school. They can do coding programs, and they are creative tools. So when you allow excuses, it will remain there. Smartphones are part of life. They need to learn to use it responsibly. So I always say this thing, and this group analyzes it. I say that a smartphone is more dangerous than a car. Sorry, let me take it back again. A smartphone is more dangerous than a car. So if you would not give your child a car, then why would you give your child a smartphone? Even adults struggle with phones. Even adults struggle with phones. So the next point is that, but I need to contact my child. So this organization argues that you can give your child a simple phone. There are phones that don't have internet on them, don't have social media, don't have anything, and they'll go a long way. Next point is that, won't they be socially isolated? To be honest, if you is this life is all about choices, guys. It's all about choices. So if you want to make excuses will be there. If you want to what's it called? If you want to what's the word? If you want to look for solutions to a situation, definitely you'd find a solution to it. But if you keep giving excuses, we all remain in that bubble. Next point is that we are just giving them our old phones with parental control. Research has shown that 47% of teenagers children that did a survey, they bypass those controls. So I know a lot of parents that say they have Google this, Google that on their phone to control them. Children find a way of bypassing them. So please, this organization has a parent pact, or they have a WhatsApp group to keep giving tips to people or to parents on how to manage this whole situation. So I wish that we will what's the word? I wish that we will be all proactive and make the most of what we're doing. All right. Okay. So management can block where can review. Okay. So I think So that's that. So let's go back to some of the things we discussed earlier. So thanks to all those that have joined once more, and I think we just come to the interactive part of today's session. So remember, I'm sure you guys read everything. Please, let's try to be allow someone else finish their contributions before we can jump in. So thank you, Victoria, for joining. Thank you, Gideon, for joining. Thank you. Let me add somebody here. Thank you, Dixon. I think I just added you now. If you can join in. Thank you, Femi, for joining. Thank you, Shine, for joining. I think I've added Mr. Lushala. I think I've added you. I don't know if I did. If I didn't add you, sir, sorry, guys. Remove as moderator. So, Olushon, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, guys, let's get the conversation going. So I just kind of thought I put a background conversations to the things that we're doing. So, and please, I would like us to learn from each other. Some of you have young children, some of you have teenagers, some of you already, your children are already big. So people can learn from me. I'm here to learn. I'm just going to be coordinating what's going on and chipping one question here and there. So if you don't mind me asking, Amishan, I'm going to start with you. At what age did you give your child their first phone? And others, guys, feel free to drop in the comment section. At what age did you give your child their first phone? Amishan, I don't know if you can hear me. If we can't hear you, so maybe you might want to unmute. Yeah, thank you. Amishan.
Yeah.
I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon from here. I'm not really sure what time it is where you are.
Okay,
Can you hear me very well?
it's 7:30 in UK and Nigeria.
Okay. Yeah. Well, honestly, I would say that honestly I haven't given my kids phone yet because my besides when they were like 2 years old, when you're trying to you're trying to get them to like stop crying and stuff like that, which is one of the mistakes that we make. Of course, it's my wife's phone. They don't even touch my phone. Do you understand? I believe that in my home, I don't think the kids should have phone till a certain age. I haven't verified that age. I'm thinking when my kids become a teenage, get into the teenage age. But presently my first boy is 10 years old. I do not think he should have access to a phone. But another thing too, guys, I still feel that. Let's see. I don't know if I'm in a good place or not, you guys. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Not okay.
I still feel that, but I give my kids the laptop which they use for their assignments and study and online lectures. I still feel that the danger that we are trying to avoid with the phone can still happen with the laptops as well.
Okay.
As long as it has internet connected to it. So I guess this topic is probably around phones, but I still
no. It can be classed as phones. Is just a starting point. It can be classed as smart devices, gadgets, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel that my boys, especially like the kids of this, they're super smart. So the same thing that I'm trying to avoid with the phone, they can still do it with their laptops. You get, so sometimes I steal in on my boys. I'm like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? You get what I'm saying? I try to not make him look apprehensive. I try to come in on him like in a friendly manner.
Okay.
So, and there was one time I came in on my son and he was writing like a story of his life. But when I came, he tried to hide it. I'm like, bro, like, why are you trying to hide what you're doing? I'm like,
how old is this your son you're talking about?
My first son, Eric.
How old is he?
Eric is 10.
Okay.
10.
Thank you. Go ahead.
You get, so because that laptop is for him to do his assignments and all of that, you get, do his IXL studies. However, it's his laptop. So sometimes, he goes on into like study certain things and he's very science inclined. So sometimes he's learning some science stuff, so I allow him, But then sometimes these guys are super smart. You get? So he was writing a story. I didn't know he was writing a story of his life, the things he was experiencing and stuff like that. And parents need to watch on those things because sometimes your kids are going through stuff that if you've not built that relationship with them, they might not be able to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Some are influenced to do those things or write those things by the kind of friends that they have.
Okay.
I think I don't have a bad relationship with my son, but I know you can always get better, you know. But for some reason, he thought those things were kind of private. Do you get what I'm saying? And this young man, 10, is literally super mature. Like, he already has beard, like underneath his pubic and stuff like that. You get so, you know. So there's a lot of. So he began to think, oh, some levels of privacy. I'm like, at this stage, young man, as long as you're under my roof, you've got to abide by my rules. But I try to do that in a very father-child manner, friendly manner, you know. And then I was able to see the things he was.
You should sort yourself out in that kitchen.
So I was able to see what he was like, and I was like, so, and I was like, yo, it's a good thing, man. Why are you trying to hide
if you
that?
cry,
You get what I'm saying? Like,
go ahead.
Can they put your hand? So I was like, yo, in fact, I think you should actually write more. I really need to see. I want to see. Is it like whatever your literal, you're being able to articulate yourself in writing and stuff like that? I want to see that story, you know. So I encouraged him, you know. So sometimes I feel like what we do sometimes as parents is we frown at certain things. You know, there has to be a balance. Okay, even if you think that they're doing something wrong on the phone or on the laptops or on the devices, you know, I don't think what he was doing was bad. However, if he was hiding it from me, then that means I have to put my eyes on it.
I get that. Yeah.
So what I did was I tried to encourage him, like, I think it's a good thing, okay? But you shouldn't be hiding such from me. You know, so what I did, I encouraged him, and that means that he now does it in a way that I can always have access to it.
Okay.
Do you get? So
yeah,
I'm just gonna stop here so that others can proceed. But in just the long run, what they do, these guys are super smart. We just have to have a friendly approach to them and keep our authority, but still be around them. You know, you got to be a present dad. You got to be a present mom, no matter how long that you walk away from mom and stuff like that. All right. So let me just stop here so others can say something.
Thank you for that. Your inputs are very much appreciated, and I like the things that you shared. Thank you very much. So I'm going to take you further, but I'd like to call on Victoria because I think your children are about the same age as mine. I would say, Victoria, my questions is that as parents of younger kids, what worries you? I don't know if you have given your children phones, or gadgets or whatever. What worries you the most about giving it to them if you haven't? So, have you given yours? And if you have given to them, were you concerned before you gave it to them? And or if you have not given to them, what are your concerns? If you don't mind sharing quickly. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us tonight. My kids are quite as young as yours. I haven't given them any gadgets at their age. My oldest child is 9, and my youngest child is 4.
Okay.
I think that smart devices are not for kids, especially unsupervised. I don't agree. Well, I perhaps because I live in a world where parents' control have contributed a lot in how many of us turned out. And so it worries me to see children with phones, especially phones with internet, because of the addictive nature of these devices. Even as an adult, it would take you a lot to focus on what you're doing on your smart device without deviating. It takes a lot. So how much more with kids? How much more with kids? Even when you have things like cable TV, you turn on parental control. You have, just like the last speaker said, you have your kids smart enough to uncover what those codes are. Earlier on, my kids could unlock my phone, not because I specifically showed them how to, but because they just had a way of watching my patterns from a distance. So they would just reproduce the same thing, and the device was on. So what worries me, and which has informed the reason for not giving my kids phones at their age unsupervised, is one, access to the addictive nature of smart devices. Two, access to information they cannot handle at their age. Yes, someone says if they don't let them at home, they'll learn them from elsewhere. True. But I'd like to be the one who tells them something. So I have conversation with my kids. I ask them questions. I'm a busy working mom, so I'd like to be sure of what my kids are having access to, including cable TV. And so that's just it. Now, as a teens teacher, I've been a teens teacher since 2012.
Okay.
And as a teens teacher, we've had to handle kids in camps, in summer camps, having to move from their parents for a long period of time. They take the approved transportation from their location to the venue and then back, sometimes every day or sometimes camped. It's fine to give your kids a smart device if you want to know where they are or what time they are getting back home. And that should be the extent of it. But to have them controlled by it and then, typing while on the road or texting in the way that you spoke about. Imagine the example you gave earlier of how a child got struck by a sword simply because he was fully involved in it. So that's my concern. A child can easily become so addicted, so used to it. I've seen some of those trendy videos that you mentioned. Those trending videos that you mentioned of a baby who was crying when the phone was taken off him, and so on. So those things concern me. And so until a child is old enough to say, let me just drop this now, it's time for this. Until a child is able to say, okay, this is bedtime, no phones, no gadgets, no TV, it's time for that. Until a child is able to make those simple, minute decisions little by little on their own consistently. I'm not completely giving the child, even a teenager, a phone unsupervised. And if they get a phone, it will be without internet or less supervised. That's it. That's my take on it.
Thank you very much. Before you go, I want to ask you a question. Some of the reasons a lot of parents give, like what I just shared earlier, was that, thanks for your contribution, by the way. Thanks for your contribution. I'm much appreciated. So the reasons parents give is that they want to be able to reach their child. And these are some of the concerns me and my wife have had, like, how do we reach our child? And a lot of parents too I want to be able to reach the child, So I'm going to ask you, but I'm also going to ask someone that's based in UK. Perhaps I'll draw someone that's based in the UK. The time that you gave them to be able to reach them is enough time for them to go online. It's enough time to do a lot of stuff. So what are your thoughts about that quickly before you go? Before you go off this? Sorry.
Well, thankfully, there are many smart devices that don't need internet for you to be able to contact your child. All right, so there are many smart devices.
So, but would that doesn't need the internet, but do you mean mobile data? But is Wi-Fi enabled, or you can enable Wi-Fi? What? If you can clarify.
It doesn't have okay. I get you now. Devices that are that don't have mobile data or Wi-Fi enabled, for those in more advanced countries where you have access to Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi in many places, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So those excuses are valid because a parent needs to know where his or her child is, depending on where that child goes to. But if, for instance, in some of the places I mentioned, a child is attending a camp, there are supervisors there. There are people who can confirm to you that the child is in the bus. They can confirm to you that the child has arrived. Or they can confirm to you that the child has gotten to a particular location. And you as a present parent can make yourself available or have a guardian who ensures that your child gets home.
Okay.
All right. So those are valid concerns, but you can still reach your child without mobile data and internet.
Okay.
So I don't rule out the fact that our kids are intelligent, and if you don't give them these things, they may get from other people. Well, that's where training comes.
Okay.
You tell your kids how to relate with other people with those devices, not painting them as bad, thereby making them curious. No, but ensuring that they know that there is time for everything. Bring up your child in the way he should go, and trust me, they will not depart from it.
I appreciate that.
That's my point. I hope I answered your question.
No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to call on Gideon, Mr. Gideon. Your child is more advanced already, and you are also very tech inclined. So I don't know how you do it, but do you think there are benefits of giving your children phones before their teenage age? And how do you handle screen time or app restrictions? I think we've had conversations around this before. And please, guys, anyone, feel free to put in the chat, parents in the chat, would you give your 10-year-old their own phones, yes or no? So Gideon, please go ahead, please. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
All right, so evening, everyone. I agreed with the first two speakers. Mine is she's 16 now. I think she got the phone at 11 when she was, and that was because of the way work life was. So I am a wife. We went to work, and then in the evening she goes to the minder. So we gave her a phone when she was, I think, in primary 5, thereabout, 5, 6. So, and that was basically to communicate to her. So I also installed a tracking app on it. So it had internet. So while at work, I could see her dots. When I opened the phone, I could see her moving, on the phone. And it's this kind of app that can also unmute. So if you ring, she's not picking up, you can unmute the phone and you can hear where she is and the environment was happening around there.
Okay.
So that helped. So I could actually, from work, come, and accountability. She's leaving school. She says, Daddy, I'm leaving school. So mind-wise, I can gauge her position per time. So if after 30 minutes she hasn't arrived, I know that, okay, she left school so time. So that's how that journey has been. What else do? I configure the phone. There are many sites the phone cannot open. There are many sites, the YouTube key for kids, there are many things it cannot open. There are many apps that cannot be installed on it. So the phone is as good as just being a phone. It has internet, but there are many things it couldn't do.
Okay.
And then secondly, I had a lot of conversation. We talk a lot. I don't take away talk. We talk a lot. There was a day she went to school and she spent about £50 in a week. My wife was like, what? You spent £50 in a week? What were you buying in school? But you still had money in your school account, and what happened? So she was weeping because of all of that conversation. I said, hey, come, don't blame her. The problem is we did not teach her. I said, yeah, come, let's use this advantage now to teach you about spending and buying things and managing money and what money should be used for. So we sat down, we went through all of that about money and all that. Now she has understanding of it. So the same way about every other thing we do, especially with phones, we talk about phones, we talk about the use of phones, we talk about information, the internet information, what is there, addiction. I tell her addiction is good, but the problem is what you're addicted to. And how it can destroy your life. So we have all those conversations, how to seek the right source, how to know what is good, how to know what is bad, how to avoid them. I do not take away the fact that one day would come where every single one of our children will be tried. But what I focus on is giving them as much truth, as much revelational truth, as much persuading truth with proofs that can keep them standing, so that when their own days of trial come, the truth is strong enough to bring them back.
Okay.
One day they will be tried. Their friends could try. We could be the agent of the trials or the temptation. It will happen. And glory to God, I tell you, her selection of friends is amazing. Her selection of friends is so amazing. If you see her set, at least the ones we know, they're so almost just like her. And people are committed to the right source. One day I just sat somewhere, they came to the house and they were talking about books, doing this, and that was just the truth. Talking about business, what they could do, creative stuff they could do, what I did, what I wrote, all of those kind of stuff. And that was amazing. So I do not take away the teaching, the responsibility we have as parents.
Mm.
You know, institutions, if you're waiting for the government to produce certain things, to do certain things, to make many moves, they will make them. But these moves can be made by institutions, and family is one of those.
Mm.
And those conversation about it never ends. Every day, every day. Even today, we're talking about it.
Mm.
We're talking about some other area too, and it concerned behavior. Public behavior, how you behave in the public, how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you respond to things. As we're driving back from home, from church. So all that conversation we keep having. And then also it leaves with me and us as parents the responsibility to live out what we're saying to you. You know, for example, last one, then I drop off. One day I saw a very fine shirt I wanted to buy. I said, I love this shirt, but I want to buy it, but I have to tell mommy first. And she said, why do I have to tell mommy? Why can't I just buy the clothes? She said, I have my own money. I said, no, the money we make belongs to the family. All right, so I don't just wake up to buy anything any day. I always have to let mommy know. And when mommy too wants to buy, she tells me, and then we know what to do. Whether she agrees or I agree. That's how it's done. Then she realized, this is how this thing works. You get. So even now in her managing of money, she shares accountability. This is what I want to buy. What do you think? Should I go ahead or should I not go ahead? So the role of parents cannot be taken away. So we are the key and the core of helping our children understand the purpose of this device and how to use it. Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate your take on this, and thanks for all the things you've shared. So I'm going to call on Madam Oche. Your son has grown. It's amazing how you see the children grow. I would need your input as well. I don't know if you've given him a phone or his children. Madam Oche, can you hear us, please? If you mute yourself, I don't know if you can hear us. Madam Oche? Okay, let's go on to Mr. Femi. Mr. Femi, can you hear us? You unmute yourself. Hello, Mr. Femi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Thank you. I know we had these conversations as well, but it would be nice if you can also share with others. Thanks for joining the live. I also wanted to hear your perspective about some of the things you shared. So I've learned some things from, like I got to know about Baby Einstein from you and some other things from you as well. So I think that some other people can learn from your own insight. So I don't know if you've handed your children phones, and if you haven't, if you have, what's your biggest challenge with your own teen and their phone? And have you had any issue that you have to take the phone away from them? And how do you do that? I don't know. So perhaps I don't know what the way your question, whether you're given a phone will determine whether you answer some of the questions I gave. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, I want to acknowledge, I don't know whether it's Pastor Gideon, Nigerians like titles, or Dr. Gideon. I loved practically everything he said. Everybody has spoken well, but I think he added a layer that I was already thinking to touch on. So, because I want to drop out soon, I may not follow the pattern of the words of the questions you asked me. So for me, I have a boy, 15, and a daughter, 11. My son is going to SS3, and we gave him a phone when he was in SS1.
Okay.
He was the last person in his class that did not have a phone. We did not receive much pressure from him, and why I loved Brother Gideon's talk was he talked about fundamental things. All these things we are talking about, because everybody has touched on the key, let me say, functional aspects, preventative, maybe the reasons why, but I think it would be good to go more fundamental. As parents, the primary thing we are to instill in them are values. Once you instill the right values, it works out and manifests in different areas. So one of the first things that is important to me is talking to them a lot. Like Gideon, everything is an example to teach. Now, my son did not bother us, even though he was the last person in class. From JSS 1, people were already carrying phones. If you want to say it affects your academics, the best students were carrying phones. If you say morals, pastor's children's had phone. But what we had been doing from the beginning was equipping him to guard himself. Because being in teens ministry and him seeing me deal with even spiritual angles, and that's the element I'm going to add to this. The spiritual angles that we are not talking about. He has seen the manifestations of what phones have done to people. Because I bring him in. I tell them with the sister, even if they are not there in the counseling and in helping others, I come back and I explain to them, this is what happened. So in equipping him and him knowing the dangers, he is also eager to protect himself. So what do I mean when I say the spiritual angle? All the angles we talked about, they are valid, they are true. But the one that bothers me the most is that, do you know that witchcraft has gone tech these days? Do you know in our own time, you want to see a babalawo or a herbalist, you go to a village, you go to one dirty house, they are online now.
They're on TikTok.
Initiating them, even on a subconscious level, initiating them. And the one that blew my mind was a boy who was in university, and he was having physical altercations with his mother. So the mother brought him. I should talk to him. And you know how we do. You try and befriend them first. Because this is somebody who is 17 in university. How is your girlfriend? Something to warm up the conversation. Immediately I started, the Holy Spirit told me, do not bother. Don't waste your time doing those things you do. That unless this child is born again, it's too late. It's too late. And I was saying that when the child was much younger, and he was looking for, the person is artistic by nature. So that works with jewelry. So I was looking for designs, artistic designs, and he went to Gothic sites to look for designs. It wasn't on pornographic sites. It wasn't on any terrible site. It was just looking for designs. He entered a place. Now, the details God didn't give me, but he entered a place where something was imparted into him. And that thing festered, built strongholds in him. Now he's effeminate. The affairs, he's watching maybe gay porn and things like that. How do you bring such a person back? The war we are fighting is on a greater level than we can imagine. I'm so sad when I look at many parents. There's a girl in my son's school that was, because they are going to SS3. Brilliant child. She was always the one that was not allowing my son to come first. I think he beat her only once. And she rented space in his head because he was always trying to beat her. If you know what this girl does, the parents are still posting her as an exemplary child. Yes, academically she still is, but she's wild. She's wild. The only reason we know, because the classmates won't tell their own parents, is because we have those talks with our son. And he brings those things to us because he is guarding his heart against her. He doesn't want to. And the parents are spiritual people, and the story is endless. So that is the dimension I want to contribute for us to consider. The questions you asked me, they are important, but I feel if you are aware that when we give them these devices, we are opening them to all the world, to the herbalists in the village who are more modern, who are well dressed. Some of them are musicians, they are artists, and they have access to them. So now coming back to what I was saying is that the values you give them.
Hello, we can't hear you again.
From a young age, friend, if your child is comfortable enough to come and talk about the deep.
We can hear you now, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you now, go ahead.
Okay. So let me round up so I can. Okay, now I'll round up to allow others to speak. If we begin to take on the responsibility of becoming their friends. Now, I say this, I know Africans don't like hearing that. Disciplining them. I remember a story, Onyekwelu, I don't know if you remember, when Anu was very small. He went to school and learned something from the teacher. And when he came home, the teacher was the first person to introduce that thing, and the teacher was wrong. So I tried to correct what he had learned. He refused. He would tell me, my teacher said. My teacher said it took a long time before we were able to break that. And the lesson I learned is that the first person who teaches builds a strong foundation. If we go the route of I ban you from the phone, I do this. Do you know that in school their friends will have phones, and if you've not built the values in them, they will be so eager to explore those places you've locked away from them. They are introduced to pornography and other things. You don't know. You think you are safe because you've prevented them from having those devices. The minute they break free from you, they are going to revel in those things. So fundamentally, everything we said is right, but I want us to look at our own intimate relationship with those children to add as a fundamental part, which we can now build on safeguards for them to protect them, and then equip them by walking them through what they are protecting themselves from, the advantages they have, and then put discipline. Thank you, Onyekwelu.
Thanks for your contribution. Very much appreciated. And sorry, I was just trying to get. Yeah, thank you for what you shared. And I believe that others are learning from them, and others are learning. We're trying to make this more as practicable as possible. Thanks for this, and I'm sure people are learning from you. So please, guys, if you like what you're hearing, please follow this page. You can also like it as well as share it with other people. And please keep the comments going through before you come on. Just keep the comments going through, and please share this page as well. So I'm going to call on Ngozi. Ngozi, your children are as young as mine. I don't know if you've given them phones. I already see children. My child is my first daughter is going to year 5, and maybe when they go into year 5, I'll start looking to see if they have phones. But already at home, sometimes they will take my phone, or I'll give them a phone to calm them down. But I'm always looking, and like Uncle Femi and other people have shared, and Gideon has shared, I try my best to instill in them. I don't know how many of you have noticed on Netflix now, virtually every program has a gay LGBT element to it. I don't know if you guys are very observant. There was one that my daughter was watching. Sorry, Ngozi, before you jump in. There's one my daughter was watching. They sang a song saying, there's a cartoon, it's not like a human film. They said the song was like, you know how they sing in between the play, and the song was my daddy and me. I was like, where'd you come? Like, sorry guys, how do I say it in English? What's that thing that you're watching? And I rewind it again. It was saying, I said, hang on. If I find it, I can put it on my page, something. And I was like, in your life, don't ever watch this program. In short, I got most. That was when now I'm like this is how I do. Maybe this. Let's assume this is the kitchen area or something. My children, the other side of this table where this is our dining table. That's where they sit down, and they turn. This is where I want them. That's where I want them to sit and be using their laptop, because they have school assignments like other people have mentioned on their laptops, and I think Emishan said that. And the reason why I put it there is not to say that I don't teach them, not to say I don't trust them, but at the same time we have a duty. Like the Bible calls us shepherds. You understand me? We have a duty to be shepherding and checking. If this is what another thing I do, sorry, before you jump in. Another thing I do is that the YouTube account that is on their laptop is the one with my name on it, the same one on my phone, the same one on the television, the same one on my phone. So I have time to go through to check what they watch and do not recommend. I don't want this one. Why did you guys watch this? These are kind of things I do. I'm not saying that I'm a perfect father. It's not been the easiest of things to do. Because I noticed that the more busy the parents are, the more challenging they find to control the use of these devices. So, Ngozi, please, can you let us know how your experience is? What's it like with the mobile phones and devices and all that? And perhaps you want to share a thing or two. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Onyekwelu.
Thank you, Kenny.
I am Kenny.
Kenny.
Ngozi's husband.
Yeah.
She's just gone upstairs to put my 3-year-old to sleep.
Okay.
3-year-old to sleep.
That's fine, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, he's not feeling so well, so
What's wrong with you?
she's just So I will take the question on her behalf.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't have you see, I don't have any TikTok or what's the other one, Instagram. So decided to join using her account. But whilst I don't have TikTok or most of the social media accounts, I wouldn't say the same, for kids of this generation. I mean, it's obvious that smartphones and social media have transformed the way our children can grow, even play and connect as well. And I would say, there are benefits to this, but the costs are also becoming impossible to ignore. I'll start with the positive side of things. For my 7-year-old, who is the oldest of our two boys, I would say that smartphones have actually opened doors to a world of knowledge and opportunity for him. I mean, today he uses our phone, either mine or Ngozi's, my wife, to have access to endless educational resources and online communities, like doing his homework, some math tutorials and that. So, that's really been helpful on that ground. And at times, he also use the phone to connect them with friends and families, across distances. At times expressing his creativity, through arts or videos. So for me, that's very positive. I wouldn't take that away, from smartphones. But look at the other, side of the story. I mean, looking at the age of my kids, I haven't really experienced this other side, I would say, practically. But I tend to read them quite widely on this. And, I would say that studies have actually shown a sharp rise in anxiety and depression and loneliness, especially among teenagers, since smartphones became widespread. I mean, it's proven in studies. There is constant comparisons on social media. Sorry, are you referring to me?
Go ahead. Sorry, it was someone that was commenting. Leslie, go ahead.
Okay. So I was saying there is you get these constant comparisons on social media, cyberbullying, and the addictive design of apps. It's left many kids actually struggling with self-esteem and focus. Again, you get sleep is disrupted amongst things, and face-to-face social skills are also weakening. And when you look at it, it actually impacts this doesn't impact boys and girls differently. I mean, with girls, often you studies show the girls often suffer from online comparison and bullying, while boys, they tend to withdraw into gaming and maybe pornography as well. I mean, there's actually a book that I would recommend, if you do get the chance, do grab a copy and read. It's called the Anchok's Generation. By Jonathan Haidt, it's called, and he calls this shift the great wiring of childhood. He actually argues that when we parents replace play, exploration, and real-world friendships with screens, we often disrupt the vital parts of emotional and social development of our kids. So I will like to end here on it too, so that I can leave time for the others. The takeaway for me, phones in themselves, they're not inherently bad. But I would say that early, unmoderated, and unlimited access can be. Okay? So, as parents, we all need collective action. We should make conscious effort to encourage our children to do more offline play. Also, develop healthier tech habits and spaces where our kids can just be kids again, like we did when we were growing up, I would say. Because if we don't send these boundaries, I think we risk raising a generation that is more connected than ever, but yet lonelier and more anxious than before.
You can say that again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. What you said really is very valuable. I find that we went for an event, and my son, instead of him, although I won't blame him in a sense, it was a party that had more of adults than children. So not long, he was telling me, what do I do? So I think I saw another parent. I learned from seeing what that parent did. They came with a coloring book for their child, and colors. And I noticed that as there was not a lot of children to play with, that child was just busy coloring. I don't know whether it's antisocial to be doing that in a party. I don't know. But I know that maybe if there was somebody to keep the children active, it might have really helped. But yeah, that's that. I just thought I'd chip that in based on the things that you shared. So I'm gonna call on Leslie because she already has teenagers, and she would I need your input on this, madam. I know that I don't know if you've given your children phones, and have you had issues to want to take them away from them, or and also do you have any positive was it a positive way that a phone can actually help your teenager? I don't know. Share your own story, please, madam. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening, or depending on the part of the world you're tuning in.
Thank you, madam.
When it comes to phones, it's something I can remember the first time I went to the shop to buy my daughter a phone. And this young misrace boy, about in his 20s, he looked at me and my husband and said to us, please, can you not buy these expensive phones? Just buy a basic phone. They don't need all those gadgets.
So, by the way, sorry, how old is your child, so people can have perspective or understand?
Okay. My daughter at that time was about 11. She's going into secondary school.
Okay, go ahead. So,
that thing really, it got me thinking. I wasn't expecting to hear that from a young boy. And that was one. Now I had an auntie who...
Sorry to cut you short. Is this gentleman that you talked about, is he a shop attendant that was selling the phone to you, or was just a random passerby?
No, he's a shop attendant, so a big shop for that matter. He's a well-known one.
Okay.
And he was discouraging us. He just said it wasn't a good idea. Now, that was one. Then number two was an auntie that I met. She spot checks her daughter. And I'm like, within myself, I'm like, this is out of order. I felt that she was the daughter was a grown girl, and I felt she was not being reasonable. That was what I tended there.
Okay.
Now, later on, I began to see the importance of what she did, and I've done it, and it helps. So checking them once in a while helps, especially when you start noticing, especially when they belong to one group or the other.
Okay.
You can say what you can say. You can raise your child, but do you know who they are making friends with? Especially when they have all these chat groups. Another chat can bring up something, and before you know it, even if they are not contributing, they will not have one influence or the other on them. So for me, really, even though now I allow them school homework and the ones that are grown, I mean, all of them practically has a phone now due to homework and all. But honestly, the best option, which I'm like going to practicalize, is switch it off at a particular time. Let the internet be gone at a particular time.
Okay.
Do your spot check. You have nothing to lose. It helps. It helps you save a lot. I know it comes now. It's like, and the painful aspect is that parents allow their kids to have lock, where their phones are locked. They don't even have access to, so they can't even see what their kids are watching. But if you can spot check your kids, please do it. It does help. That's all I can say.
Thanks for that, man. Do you know what you just shared now reminds, if you guys look, I think it's on ITV or Channel 4. You just mentioned about group chats. A boy was sentenced to jail for being in a group chat. He was not part of the people that committed the crime. I think he was based in Manchester, so he was not part of the people that committed the crime. But the fact that he was in that group chat where that conversation was had about what they were going to do to a particular boy, and maybe he did not report, maybe the police are expecting that he was going to report the situation to them or something, just for being in that group chat, he landed himself in jail. And this boy we're talking about was what's that thing, that what they call that thing that they used to give to students, not prefect, what they call it, In secondary school,
boys.
yeah,
Like a head boy.
yes. In primary school, he was. In secondary school, he was. He was a very good boy. He's in his community. He was well known. Even in his church, he was amazing. But just for being in the wrong group chat at the wrong time, landed this boy in jail. And we all know what jail time in this country is. It's a stick. It affects. They always say to you, every form you're filling, every visa. Have you been to jail once? It's quite unfortunate. I just remembered it now based on what you shared. And like you said, even though you teach your children everything, do you know what they are becoming? Or do you know what they've become or whatever? And like, I don't know how many of us would agree with what I'm saying. There's sometimes in the eyes of your parents, they see you as a personality, but behind you have another personality. So like you said, it's expedient that we're always spot checking. And thanks for that contribution. It's really helpful. And I'm sure that other parents are learning from what I'm saying. Thank you very much. I'll call on you again. I just wanted to see if I can call on Mr. Olushola. I don't know if you can hear me, sir, because your children are adults already, and I know it would be nice to hear how you did yours. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir? I don't know if you can hear us. So it'd be nice to hear how he did his own, how he's done it, because we're here to learn. I can remember what I told you guys. We're not here to, it's not a teaching session or something. My children are still young teenagers. We can't hear you, sir, if you can hear us. I don't know what the issues are. So, yeah. So we're just going to take this further. Before we take it further, I just want to read something I saw in the group chat. Guys, it'd be nice if you guys can, check these guys out on Instagram. They have quite a lot of stuff on their page about smart. Remember what she said about Madam Leslie said somebody approached her and say just give them a basic phone, So this is from Smartphone Free Childhood on the Instagram page, and it says 25 years of life strolled away. In other words, a research has shown that a new study reveals that UK students now spend 5.5 hours a day on their phone, and this adds up to 25 years of scrolling in one's life. So it says for 1 in 25 use their phones 9 hours plus. That's 41 years lost in scrolling. Of nearly 3,000 UK students studied, 76 say their phone habits are hurting their mental health. 3 in 4 say that their phones their phone use disrupt their studies. 68% want to spend less time on their phone but feel like they can't stop. 49% say phones are stealing their real life moments, friendship, memories, replaced with scrolling. Nearly half say they are disrupting their sleep. Late night scrolling is becoming the new norm. So, guys, on and on and on. I'm sure you guys know some of these things. And like Kenny has also mentioned, and every other person has pointed out, the impact of phones. So I'm just going to call on someone else. I've not heard their sorry guys. Yeah, I think some other people have requested and I forgot to add them. Sorry. Madam Moche is back on. Yep. Yeah, Madam Moche, I don't know if you can hear us. Madam, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, I don't know what happened initially. Yeah, please, would appreciate. Yes. Yeah, your son is already a big boy. I saw him standing toe to toe with your husband. It was really if I don't know him when he was young, I will not believe it. But thank God for his growth. I don't know. What are your thoughts about this whole thing? Does he have a phone? Have you given him a phone? Yes. How do you cope with? How do you do your own? Kindly advise us so that we can learn. So, have you had issues to take it from him? We just want something honest. It's important that we learn from parents honestly, not here to give a lot of lectures. Thank you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, my son is going to SS3. He got a phone. Okay, my son is in SS3. Got a phone while he was in SS1, and before then, I've been of this opinion that you don't get a smartphone till when you're done with secondary school. But then COVID came, And then even the educational system, there was a shift. So he got a phone at SS1. Yes, it's been challenging, but it has also helped my relationship with him and even the younger sister. Sometimes I get to I monitor their device once in a while, but these kids are amazing. I think basically it's having a relationship with your kids and let them talk to you and you talk to them. As some of the speakers have spoken earlier said, these kids are very smart. And at some point I downloaded an app to monitor his device. I think what's the name of that app then? When I noticed, there were certain things I'm not too comfortable with. But do you know that I realized that, they also know how they can, crack that device while I feel I'm monitoring and I'm not monitoring. So I only got to know that because he told me that, see, mommy, and I think you should talk to teenagers more. Parents should talk to us more, because even if and you feel you are monitoring our device, except if we don't want to. If I want you to monitor my device, that's when you can monitor my device. So you can imagine your child telling you that. So I think we should build a relationship more and also pray for them more, so that beyond, because some of them are technologically more advanced than even some of us, the parents. They know there are things they could do with their device that maybe me as the mother cannot even do with mine. So I am learning every day, talking with him, learning from him to see, when we have certain conversation, it helps me to know that, I need to do more on my prayer altar for them, because that's for me basically. I'm using Family Link, Google Family Link now to monitor their device. There are times I think there was an incident that happened one time in school, because in the school you attend, you submit your device when you come to school, and after school you pick it up in case your parents want to get to you. So that day I was in the office and I noticed that this device was active. And I was like, this young man is what is he doing with his phone during school hour? Not knowing that they had a project that he was to do in school that day. So his teacher took permission from them and he was using his phone for that project in class. But I was in my office and I noticed his phone was active. So I locked it because I was using the Family Link. I just locked the phone. That was when the teacher now called me. That, please, ma, your son said you locked his phone. I said, yes, this is class period. I don't know why his phone is active. So he said that they are actually having a project that he took permission for him to use the phone. So I think we can, Family Link has helped me to also monitor certain app they could download, the time they spent online, what he's doing at some particular time, and then there are sites they can't go into and all that. But just like I said, that beyond all those protection thing, let's build a relationship with our children so that they can talk to us at all time and let us know certain things that is bothering them. There are certain things I know that has helped him a lot, using his gadgets, his creativity, his schoolwork and all that. So I think that's my little experience.
Thank you for that, madam. We very much appreciated. And I like the practicality of it, So, to be honest, remember that there's not a one size fit all from what I'm learning from different parents, and is what works. It's just that I always say to parents, I always say to myself, we can't be caught, we can't be sleeping. That's it, we can't be sleeping, because as much as you trust your children and everything, we just have to be And the Bible tells us that the devil goes around like a roaring lion seeking for whom to devour. To the point that, do you know how I will say I'm apprehensive, but anything camera, like camera on it, on a laptop or phone or television or anything, because maybe, I don't know how many of you have watched this movie. I also remember it. The way they hack into cameras and enable it even when it's turned off gets me scared. So I'll just turn it off. Some movies I've watched, they even put phones inside microwave before they can start having conversation. So this kind of stuff shows you the level our world has gone into, and why we should be we can't be caught napping. So whatever strategy parents have taken, or whatever decision we've taken, it's important that we back it up with the right follow-up. So yeah, final thoughts, guys, as we wrap this up. I don't know, Uncle Femi, sir, do you have anything you want to chip in? And is there anybody else that wants to say anything on YouTube or anywhere? I've been trying to get.
Is it Megan you're talking about? The movie?
Say they call the name again.
Megan.
No, I think it's either a movie with Matt Damon or so. It's not Matt Damon or one guy. He has 1, 2, and 3. I also remember the film. It's not Megan. I still remember the name. As in, like that film heightened the level where phone hackings and phone like cameras, like how whatever the dark world or people that want to monitor can monitor you.
Megan 1 and 2 is something like that.
Okay. I also remember the phone, So yeah. Anybody else wants to say some final thoughts as we bring this to a close? I don't know if we've learned anything. Me, I've learned, and I was trying to get Ami Baby on the line, but she's not responding, because I like what she said about. I would love to hear more of what she's saying. Say these days, when children notice you are watching them, it becomes a habit of using them in the toilet. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this, if you can join back in. So I'll call on you, sir. What's it called? Femi, Mr. Femi, your final thoughts, sir. What based on everything, I'm sure you might have one or two. Hello, sir. Can you see here, sir?
Yes, I can. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. I say your final thoughts as we wrap up. Any other thing you might want to share based on the things that you've heard since we were discussing?
I think, as usual, going to schools to talk to parents, it is usually the parents that are concerned and are better educated that usually show up for things like this. And I think that bears witness to hearing each person. And what I would like to conclude with is, as we've heard the various ways, I think for younger children, it is easier. So those of you that have young children, please do not be deceived by what you're experiencing right now. It is very, very easy to control and dictate things. And I will also say, what you sow is what you reap. The greatest investment is not in technological preventative measures, but relationship. You have to have that. I think for me, that's the biggest thing we should take away from it. All the things we've said, they still matter. You should check on them. You should spot check. But when you look at children at advance, even I have Family Link. They can educate you on how to bypass it. I have a family friend who put some devices on his Wi-Fi, preventing all the websites. What he found on his daughter's device shocked the living daylights out of him.
Wow.
The girl is already different. They don't know what they are going to do. They are bringing her back to Nigeria. Within a short span of time, she went online. What's it called again? This forums, what's it called? This community forum. And they told her how to bypass the security the father had put on. It was the sister that ratted her out, and the father took the device and now went through chats. That girl had been getting advice from all kinds of people. Even ChatGPT was helping her.
Wow.
So when you look back and forth, and when you've dealt with teenagers for such a long time, our own parents, they were the gatekeepers of everything. At the door, they will bounce who they don't want you to talk to. They know what you are watching. There was only maybe 3 channels. Every device is the portal to the whole world. The only true defense we have is to give them the tools to protect themselves. And it starts by building a close relationship with them. I am always grateful that my wife emphasized from a young age that every day, no matter how busy we are, we sit down and we talk for 30 minutes, minimum. Sometimes it runs to 4 hours during the weekend. Open-ended questions, not how was school? Fine. At the beginning, it may be difficult. And I said, the earlier you start, the better. When you get to the point when your teenage son can come to you and talk about arousal, like, okay, daddy, a girl touched me when we were talking about, and I was stirred up. What do you think? When you know that his age mates are watching porn, you so equip that child that when the child sees a person with a device watching porn, they are so concerned that they don't want anything like that around them. They come to tell you. That is what should be our primary target relationship. And when we have that in place, then the other things are checks. Because if you have the relationship, you can tell when your child has seen something. Something is just different that day. If they are stirred up about something, you just feel that you call them. What's happening? Talk to me. Like Auntie Oche said, some of these children, they are way advanced than we can ever be. And things that even people that are in tech, every day there are new advancements. So we are all, I can inherit everyone, we are already all aware and we have the right desires. But I beg you, because I've been in teens ministry over 2 decades now. And what I see is the cluelessness of parents, both spiritual, most of us don't know what's going on. They are the ones that will tell you what is going on. It's my son that when I want to go and talk to teenagers, I call my son, he tells me the latest trends and what to prepare for. He's the one teaching me now. So please, let's build that relationship, then we can build other things on top. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, sir. Sorry, guys, about this thing. Thank you for that, and I've learned a lot from you, sir. And I just want to encourage, especially the young parents here that have like children, young ones. I'm very, very particular. My children don't watch every program. I watch what other people are saying. I don't just take any people for granted. I don't know how many of you have seen videos about the young parents against what are the famous channels on YouTube? Coco Melon, programs like what is the pig one? Peppa Pig. My children don't want Peppa Pig sorry to say, but because of some of the things, we should not just be docile. I was having a conversation with the parent and I was saying, how much screen time do you allow your children? She said as much as it can allow me to be saying, as in like, let her just be there, I beg. In other words, that's how I understand for what she said. So we have to be intentional, and parenting both for young people and parenting both for teenagers, we should let's be intentional. So quickly, guys, sorry, I just want to add, Dixon said, sorry, sir, but I think we parents show bad examples with phones. We come back and spend almost all our time on phones with no attention for our children, which makes them curious to handle the device. As far as they are concerned, life is on the phone. So these are very valid points, guys. So let us lead by example, So my wife always calls my attention to my use of phone and all that. But sometimes when you see me on my phone, all my work is on my phone. The apps that I use to sustain my business on my phone. So I pray that God will give me better understanding for my children to understand that I'm not just playing around and all that. To be honest, I'm sorry, guys. Please don't be angry if I say this. I don't watch people's status. So if I just watch status 1, status 2, status 3, that's all. I feel like maybe I won't watch anymore or go on Instagram. If I flick one, flick two, that's it. You understand? That's how even on TikTok, I'm only here to share. Wole Jekwe ma. Yenye ma kanyelo waka. Jekwe piko no him nene. Just yenye ma wole jewe. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, Ami Baby, for joining. I really want to hear your opinion on the point you raised about children going in the phone and how you go about yours. And please kindly share your thoughts. Thank you very much. Go ahead. I don't know if you can hear us, Ami Baby.
Hello.
Go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening. Calling from Nigeria, Kano State.
Hello, Ami. Welcome.
This issue, I noticed from my kids, they are grown up, they're university.
Good.
Right from when they're in secondary school, I refuse them using smartphones. True. I make sure they use these normal small phones at home, just for calls and for receiving and answering calls. But when these COVID-19 started and the school have to start asking them to use smartphone, that was when I was forced to get a smartphone for them.
Okay.
But I noticed that even no matter how you watched them, the way they go through the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, the WhatsApp, trying to claim that it's for school and all that, you will still want to watch them. You want to watch them, and the next thing you notice that the next thing they want to say, they're always going to the toilet. They're using their self for almost 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. They're in the toilet. And when you go in to tell them what are they doing, they said maybe they're having a constipation, or they're having this, they could not pass through. You just have to start waiting for them to come up. But you always notice they use the phone inside there. So sometimes I just wonder how to go about it. So it becomes a little bit confusing. Now they are in university. Now their university is becoming more confusing for me to really watch them well. I love the topic. It's a very good topic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Children of these days, it's only God can help us.
Amen.
As they said, that they are more advanced than us when it comes to sets and the method they use it. But it's just toilet thing. I can't go into toilet with them. But they have to go with the handset into the toilet because they are not adults. So how do I go about it?
Well, thank you for your opinion, and thanks for being honest and everything. To be honest, some of the commentators, some of the people that spoke earlier, is that building that relationship. My bishop always says it's never too late to get it right. It's to build the relationship and start fostering a relationship to the point that, like one of the, I think it was Mr. Femi that said, to the point that they can tell you what they are doing. So I don't know how you can do that, but I think you should start I forgot who said that you should start finding a way to be their friend, so that they can be able to come and confide in you or tell you one or two things or what the situation is. I think that way helps, because now that they're in university, to be honest, they're technically young adults and there's nothing more you can do, because you can't go to uni with them and to see what's going on there. But it's to start forming the relationship so that they can now start explaining everything. Then you now come in, because there's a time to instruct the children, and there's also another time that you now start advising them. There are different phases of their life. So, and there's a time that is all those things that you have been doing that will continue to help them with the help with God guiding them through. So God will help each and every one of us, and people like you that are already advanced is to keep up and never get tired and keep on saying the right things and keep saying it, because no matter whether you like it or not, children hear what you say. When you think they're not hearing you, is when you're not there with them. That's when they'll start telling you. But my mother always said, I remember the things my mom said to me, especially when I was in university alone and there was nobody. I was not remembering the things my mom was telling me. That's how the Holy Spirit works. All through my secondary school period, when I was in boarding school, common secondary school in Kaduna, I don't know how the Holy Spirit used the thing to say to me that if I jump the fence like other people and scale and go outside the university, go outside the school, my mom will catch me. I don't just know what. All true, I never did it. So I'll hear this person say he has jumped, he has gone to Mami Market or in television garage and he has come back or whatever. But me, I say it's the day I do my own that they'll catch me. And that was how the Holy Spirit kept me. And I'm not to say I'm perfect. Even to some people used to jump into girls' hostel and then do big boy. I was just so worried that my mom would catch me and finished. That's how God kept helping me. When we got into university, I just said to myself, what will my parents say if they hear that I joined the secret court? So keep doing what you're doing. This is what I always say to parents. As long as what you keep implanting is the word of God. Bible says the word of God, you cannot do anything to the word of God. It must grow. And as it's growing, the God will use that seed to keep doing great works in them. Even if they are going astray, the Holy Spirit will be using that word to bring them back. And God will help each and every one of us in Jesus' name. Thank you for your contribution, man. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Dixon says, for me as parents, 3 C's are paramount: concern, control, and counseling. And he also said, parents must know the when, why, and how the use of the phone of their children. Thank you very much, Dixon. Very much appreciated. So, Wilson, do you have any comments as we're about to round up? Wilson. Okay. So, guys, as I wrap up, and it's been an amazing time with you guys. So we're just gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Hello, sorry.
Your comments in a few minutes, please. Yeah.
Now, and I'm joining late. My name is Wilson.
Go ahead, Wilson. Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, this discussion is all about the effects of the use of mobile phone. The effect of the use of mobile phone on our teenage children. If I'm not wrong, I guess that's the topic of the conversation.
Yeah. If you could just quickly share with us how you do yours and what works for you, or maybe a little bit of a challenge, quickly in less than 2 minutes, please.
Okay. For me, I try not to have. For now, I don't give my kids don't have phone. My children don't have phone.
Okay.
As in smartphones.
How old are your children? You don't mind me asking this.
I purposely did not want to give them phones because of the effect, because of the exposure. So what I did was I have a tablet and also I have a tablet and I have a phone for myself, which the tablet, each time I come home, I release it for them. Then that tablet is registered. The email used there is also my email, which each time they are on that tablet, I monitor the history of the sites they've got to, and know how to guide them about when to go and where not to go. So for me, basically, that's the way I try to limit them. I don't have any kid yet in high institution.
Okay.
Also, they are all in secondary school for now. They use that tablet for their homework.
Okay.
Just like I said, with the if I'm there physically, I watch them where they go to. If I'm not there physically, I have the time. I will go back to review the sites in which they've seen, they've gone through, and if I have any concern about any particular site that they have visited, I will raise my voice in it, because for now they have not really put in measures to limit the sites they go, because I also use that part. You get what I'm saying? So
that's good.
Basically, that's the way I manage their exposure to the internet.
Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. I think I don't know, but for me, I've learned a lot today, and it furthermore confirms some of the things that me and my wife have made. At first, we were divided on whether to give or not to give, but we have made a decision not to give our children phones. My encouragement to be a lot of people, it's not easy. And I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not proving to say that this is the way it must happen for you guys, but it's what works for you, So, but I said to God, help me so that I can be available, or my wife will be available for these children. The same way I was available for them when they were in primary school, I want to be available for them when they're in secondary school. I want to be available for them as much as possible so that their lives are not ruined by mobile phones, so that they can have their normal childhood. I don't know how many of you know about Michael Jackson. Because of fame, I think they say he lost his childhood, and that's the reason why he has Neverland and always want to play with children, or has that fantasy of wanting to. He missed his childhood because he went into stardom very much. Phones can do the same thing. They can rob children of their childhood, trees that they would have climbed, sand they would have played, the things they would have done with their children. There are tons and tons of things. So I pray that God give us wisdom so that we can know how to manage this thing called smartphones. Remember what I said to you guys, that I think that a smartphone is more dangerous than a car. And if you would not give your child a car now, why would you give them a smartphone? So we need to apply wisdom in everything we're doing. So just to recap, guys, we've talked about the risk, which is addiction, and they can be addicted to it. And I came across a study that talks about, let me see if I can find it. A study that says research shows that robust association between problematic phone use and very substance behavior, including cannabis, tobacco, alcohol, and school failure. This is a research. That research is linking the usage of phone to addiction. So that's why sometimes you take away a phone, like we noticed it from my 2-year-old. You take away a phone from her, she will just start screaming all over the place. And my wife said no. And now she just a worker. She don't even know, say, you don't get to give her the phone. So we have to be mindful of these things. It's addictive, just like what I just showed you about research. It's addictive to, like, alcohol. It's addictive, and when these things, the people, when they are withdrawing it from them, it's very problematic. They can remember the risk. Online predators, we talked about it. Mr. Femi talks about that. Even people, sorcerers, even people from the underworld are now coming on social media. There was one time I was in TikTok and I was about to leave, and I saw people that read palms or whatever on TikTok. They know they hide again. They're even on the high street in the UK. They're there. So we have to be mindful. Distraction is another risk as well. From our children from focusing on what it is, it affects their attention span. Remember, guys, that website I talked about, I think is Smartphone Free Childhood. Check there. There are a lot of things there. Yes, there are benefits. You keep connection with them. There's safety. You can also learn. Also, it's important that we've talked about safety tips, learning to keep boundaries, parental guidance, and having conversation. A lot of conversation was talked about today. A lot on the importance of talking to our children so that they can start confiding in us. So, guys, please, if you have found value in this conversation, don't forget to share this live. If you have found value in the conversation, please comment on it, like it, and also share it to people. So please feel free to follow up all our other pages. We have other pages like dhairuluv, where we sell wigs and stuff. We also have another page where we do a lot of family podcasts related to families, and follow our property page where we do focus on real estate. And follow this page if you have not followed it. So thank you very much, viewers, for your time, and thank you for everyone that's contributed. This has been an amazing time. Our time was fast spent, and I believe that everyone that has shared a lot. Remember what I always say, the wise invest. So keep investing. So lastly, before we step out, Dixon said, truth is use of phone has come to stay. In fact, the greatest expectation of preteens and teens is to have a mobile phone. As at a recent JBS class, I thought I prayed a particular prayer and didn't hear I prayed a particular prayer and didn't hear a resounding amen. So I decided to test their attention by saying, as you go home after this JBS, your parents would buy you a new phone, sir. And the amen did not end until I forced them to. Wow. It is well. God help us. And he went on to say, the truth is their heart is in this thing. It's a war. We must be ready to by the help of the Holy Spirit, take charge of our children's destiny. Yes, I agree with him. I agree with everyone that's commented, and I agree with all. Please, let's be intentional about these things. The devil is looking for ways to hold down the destiny of these children. Let's be mindful. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself. Me and my wife were improving every day on screen time, on use of mobile devices or laptops or whatever, and we're working on it and preparing ourselves for teenage time, and hopefully for people like Madam Ami that are more advanced with the children. God will give us wisdom. I wish there are more other people that could have joined. Okay, we have Mr. Olushola saying the use of iPads and other devices to indulge toddlers seem unhealthy. Yeah, he said that as well. And he said, I think it's been a great conversation overall. Training, communication, relationship with children must start early. Thank you very much, sir, for that input. What I wanted to get your opinion was how you did yours with your children, because your children are well behaved, and as I can see them. Thank you, Artistic Monkey, for joining. Jackie, Jade, and everyone that's joined. The Hair You Love, Ngozi Otiaba, Emmy, Ami Baby, Samuel Oko, as many people, Obu 746, Love Key Life, as many that are there. Thank you all for joining. Made Strong, Bookie Welty, Wilson, and for those that join on YouTube, for those that join Mr. Dixon Achobo that joined on, and as many that joined on YouTube, Facebook, thank you for your time, and I hope we all learned a lot. God bless you. I'll see you next Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. UK and Nigerian time. God bless you all. Please, bye-bye.